All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to P-Tech Planetarium, and for all of you joining us on the live stream. Here at the planetarium, we bring science and space to life for students across Paterson, across the community, and across this district. But today is something truly extraordinary. In just a short while, 12 of our students will have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to speak directly with astronaut Kimiya Yui aboard the International Space Station orbiting 250 miles above Earth. This historic event not only highlights the talent and curiosity of our students, but it also shows what's possible when learning reaches beyond our walls and out into space. Thank you for being part of this special moment with us. Now let's get ready to connect Paterson to the stars. So before we begin our contact, let's take a quick look at the International Space Station, this incredible laboratory orbiting high above Earth. You at home will also watch a little bit more about what we're learning today. So this exciting experience.
My name is Jalen Wilson. I go to New Roberto Clemente.
Adonis, Young Men's Leadership Academy.
Mariana Estevez. Alexander Hamilton.
All right.
My name is Zion Smith and I go to YMLA. My name is Adam. I go to School 9 in Paterson.
I'm Ciana Vasquez, and I go to Paterson P-Tech.
My name is Christine Gomez and I go to Alexander Hamilton.
Hello, my name is Roz and I go to Eastside High School.
My name is Dario and I go to AHA.
My name is Mateo. My school is School 8.
My name is Mabel Martinez. I go to Alexander Hamilton Academy.
My name is Justin Bethea and I go to Paterson P-Tech.
Okay.
The International Space Station is a state-of-the-art microgravity laboratory that is unlocking discoveries not possible on Earth and helping us push farther into deep space.
Every single day, we are answering big questions about Earth and about space, about where we came from and about where we're going. But the other thing that we're doing is we're learning more questions to ask.
Microgravity turns almost everything we know upside down. Liquids behave completely differently. Fire burns in new ways. Biological systems reveal surprises.
There's a few things that have made me gasp out loud up on board Space Station. Watching heart cells actually beat has been a pretty big one.
We're studying ways to grow food in microgravity.
I got to tell you, these are pretty amazing.
We're learning how human bodies react to life in space and how to keep crew members safe and strong on long-duration exploration missions.
Deadlifts are awesome on Earth. They're also awesome in zero gravity.
We're testing technologies that will be critical to our return to the moon and Great Leap to Mars. Our research has contributed to medical and social benefits on our home planet, allowing us to find new ways to combat disease back on Earth and develop technologies to deliver clean water to remote communities in need. The spectacular vantage point of more than 200 miles above our planet supports our monitoring of Earth's climate, natural disasters, and plant life.
I can't begin to describe some of the sights that you get to see. It's just an incredible view of our planet that we have from here.
The growing new space economy, so vital to our continued progress in space, is flourishing in low Earth orbit. We're inspiring future generations from a platform that is one of the largest international collaborations of our time. We're doing science at 17,500 miles per hour. Come along for the ride.
1SF for scheduled contact.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Peake and welcome aboard the International Space Station, where we're orbiting Earth 16 times every day. One of the most rewarding activities that some astronauts undertake on orbit is to talk to schools using the space station's ham radio. Now these are events that are planned by ISS, which is a worldwide group of amateur radio volunteers who are dedicated to introducing young people and students to science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now this is the equipment here in the Columbus laboratory, which consists of a handheld radio, a headset, and we also have a ham video unit. Now as the International Space Station orbits above your location, a radio link is established between the ISS and your school. Now because we're travelling at nearly 18,000 miles per hour, which is an incredible 25 times the speed of sound, we usually get about 9 or 10 minutes of good radio contact before losing the signal. So about 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the contact, I come into the Columbus laboratory and configure the radio so that I'm on the correct channel. And sometimes I'll set up the ham video too. Just before the predicted time, I'll begin to start calling the school using the standard amateur radio calling techniques. For example, if the call sign of your school was GB4 Fun, I would say Golf Bravo 4, Foxtrot Uniform November. This is Golf Bravo 1 Sierra Sierra, listening and standing by. Now at your school, the radio operator will be listening for my call, but may also transmit and try to call me as well. You'll probably have a much more powerful transmitter on the ground than we have up here on board, so I'm likely to hear you before you hear me. Then, once we can hear each other, then comes the best bit, which is actually talking to the students and answering the questions. Once I've answered all the questions, we use the remaining time to say goodbye to each other and end the connection. I'll then spend a few minutes configuring the radio back into a rebroadcast mode, and then I'll go back to my day job, which is of course doing science on board the International Space Station. ISS is a brilliant opportunity for astronauts to talk to school pupils. It's really rewarding to hear how excited the students are when they're talking to somebody up here in space. And it's a true privilege to be able to inspire our next generation of scientists and engineers through amateur radio.
Why is it so exciting? What makes you excited about this?
I'm gonna be talking to astronauts in space.
Why is that exciting?
Because they're all the way in space and I'm down here.
Being able to hear the astronaut all the way up from space.
Know that there are things cooler than talking to people through phones, and there's more science and stuff than I know. Because it's an experience of learning about astronauts, and not many people get to do it, so it's very exciting and it's a fun experience to learn.
I was a little girl, I've always been very interested in astrology, astronaut life, and this is like a really great opportunity because I'm literally going to be talking to astronauts, and it's very exciting for me.
Very, because I think it's like really cool that you can go into space, and I want to know more about like the psychological effects and stuff that it has, being up there, like basically no contact with anyone else outside of the ship.
Okay.
The reason why I'm very excited is because I always dreamed to work for the NASA headquarters and see astronauts.
Because I can know more about them and what goes on up there while I'm down here on Earth.
I'm pretty excited about it just because the experience of this whole thing, I think it will help me achieve what I want to do in the future.
Great memories for me, so one day I could tell my kids in the future that I talked to an astronaut before and I used a ham device to talk to them.
Perfect. All right, as you just saw, the ISS is a unique research lab. It's traveling faster than a bullet in space, over 17,000 miles per hour, and circling the Earth 16 times every day, about once every 90 minutes, and it's heading this way shortly. Astronauts from around the world live and work there. They conduct experiments and help us learn more about science, technology, engineering, and math, and cell phones. It's also one of the best international cooperations in history. It's truly a sign of what good can come out of this world if we all work together. Now that we learned a little bit more about the International Space Station, let's talk more about our astronaut. Today, we're incredibly lucky because our students will be speaking directly with one of those astronauts aboard the station. Let's learn a little bit more about Commander Yui.
I think humankind has a desire to explore and also expand our area of activities. Space is a great place to explore because Earth is so small. We still have unknown places, but Earth is, generally speaking, so small compared with space. My name is Kimiya Yui. I'm a mission specialist for NASA's SpaceX Crew 11 mission to the International Space Station. I was born in very, very small village in Nagano Prefecture. So up there, I was able to see very, very beautiful stars in night skies. When I was a little boy, I did stargazing, and I loved stars. I really want to know everything on our universe, and I want to go everywhere as long as I live. When I was already 10 years old, I already wanted to become an astronaut or astronomer. I graduated from the National Defense Academy, and after that, I entered Japanese Air Force, Japan Air Self-Defense Force, then become a fighter pilot, then a test pilot, and then became an astronaut. We do science in space because we have constant microgravity in the ISS. We cannot achieve that condition on the Earth. Space station actually contributing our knowledge, and also we can produce new materials or medicines in order to make our future brighter. Going to Moon or Mars is very difficult, so we need to test our materials, and ISS is a great test bed. So Crew 11, we are going to have a lot of experiments on ISS, and JAXA especially, we are going to have new cargo vehicle, HTV-X. The vehicle itself is a little bit lighter, but we can carry more stuff to the ISS. 10 years ago, I went to space for the first time. It's changed a lot. And for astronauts, it became much more convenient to live. For example, we didn't have a good place for cooking. Now we have gallery. I was able to see a lot of stars and also beautiful Earth or moons. This mission inspired me, and I really want to pass that inspiration to other people on the ground. ISS is one of the best examples to have a dream and work together and make the dream come true. So if you see ISS in the night sky, please think about your dream, about how to make your dream come true.
What we have here is, thanks to the Fairlawn Amateur Radio Club, FLARC, we'll be using ham radio technology right here in Paterson to reach out to the International Space Station. And I'll let our friends from FLARC begin their presentation. This is Steve Holly.
Good morning. Are you all excited? Yes. We are too. Welcome, thanks for coming. So first, let me introduce the members of the Fairlawn Amateur Radio Club team. We have Rhea N2RJ, who's manning the, Rhea, we have Rhea, raise your hand. Rhea is handling the live stream for us this morning. We have Noel, his call sign is W2MSA. He's our secondary control operator. We have Doug, KE2FWN, part of the infrastructure team. We have Robert Sky Marchini. He is our club treasurer and our youth outreach officer. Our club president is here, Gene, WO2W, and I'm Steve Holly, WI2W. Those are our call signs. They were issued by the Federal Communications Commission, And we each had to take a test, learn some rules and regulations, and learn a little bit about radio in order to get our licenses. So I prepared a few remarks. I'll read those, and then we'll have time for some questions, I think. So this morning we're going to have a contact, as you just saw, with Kimiya Yui. Astronaut Yui holds the Federal Communications Commission issued amateur radio license and call sign KG5BPH. Most astronauts are FCC licensed amateur radio operators. Sometimes on their personal free time, the astronauts will use the amateur radio equipment on board the ISS to make unscheduled contacts with amateur radio operators here on Earth. And let me tell you, that's very exciting when that happens. This past June, for our amateur radio field day exercise, one of the astronauts floated over to the radio, grabbed the mic, and made contacts with us folks here on the ground. And we were fortunate at the Farallon Amateur Radio Club to make contact with an astronaut in last June. This morning, we'll be using the Farallon Amateur Radio Club call sign of W2NPT, and astronaut Yui will be using the space station call sign of NA1SS. Our contact will be made direct, radio to radio, using the radio equipment here on the table in front of me and an antenna that we have assembled on the roof of the planetarium here. There are 100-foot cables connecting the antenna system on the roof to the radio equipment on the table. They run behind the table here, out up through a hatch, across the ceiling, and up the hatch onto the roof. The radio club team spent many hours fishing those wires through and figuring out how to get it done. The antenna is a directional antenna, and we're using a computer program on that computer to track the ISS as it moves across the sky, and we are controlling the antenna rotators both in azimuth, this is the azimuth direction, and in elevation. So the space station will pop up over the horizon, rise up into the sky, and then it will set, and our antennas will be tracking that. The space station is moving at 17,500 miles per hour, and our contact this morning will last just over 10 minutes. You might be surprised to learn that we're only using 100 watts of transmitter power. Think of that in terms of a 100-watt light bulb, not much power at all. The ISS also operates as an amateur radio repeater, and it's possible for amateurs here on Earth to make contacts just using a walkie-talkie, 5 watts of power, and a directional antenna, and I'll show you one of those now. I don't want to trip the laser sensors here, but that's a typical antenna. This one happens to be a commercial antenna made out of arrow shafts that unscrew, so you can roll it up neat. We can also make our own antennas. One popular method is to use tape measure, and we use tape measure elements on a PVC boom, so you can make an antenna for just a few dollars in parts. So having an amateur radio station on board the ISS serves at least 2 important functions. In addition to making school contacts like the one we're about to make here in a few minutes, it also serves as a backup communication system for the astronauts. In case there was a problem with the radios on board, the astronauts can use the amateur radio gear to make contact with the controllers here on Earth. And now I have a message for all the students out here that are listening, and I hope there's a lot. You too can be an astronaut or anything else that you want to be in your life, if you choose to. So the way that you do that, start by taking your studies. Ask lots of questions. If you show the desire to learn, your teachers will lead you to find the answers to your questions. It's their job to teach, and it's your job to learn. Let me repeat the last part. It's your job to learn. That's about it. That's about all I have. I wish you much success in your future endeavors, and once again, thanks for coming. And in a little while, we will be speaking with astronaut Kimiya Yui aboard the International Space Station. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Fairlawn Amateur Radio Club, FLARC, for showing us today how contact will happen. Now, before we make our connection, all right, let's take a look at a short video of what you are going to expect. All right, so this comes directly from ARIS, or Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. So we're going to watch one more video before we buckle down and start getting ready for our contact, okay? So, enjoy.
Hi, my name is Ruth.
And my name is Chris.
You must be pretty excited to talk directly with astronauts on the International Space Station today. While we're waiting for the space station to come over your portion of the sky, let's talk a little bit about how it's going to happen. Of course, Mission Control is in contact with astronauts all the time, using a big radio with lots of fancy equipment.
However, we're going to be using something very different today. We are going to use ham or amateur radio to talk directly to the International Space Station.
When most people hear the word radio, they think of a music radio station, but it's so much more than that. Radio actually refers to the unseen energy that transmits all sorts of signals using electromagnetic waves. At first, people learned how to send signals like Morse code, and then they discovered that you can send so much more, like data, computer signals, and even TV.
Maybe you don't realize it, but you use radio every day. Maybe you watched the TV this morning, or you texted your friends, or maybe even you check social media like Twitter or Instagram.
Let's travel back to space for a minute. Since the beginning of the space age, humans have sent many spacecraft out into the universe. These range from the Hubble Space Telescope orbiting the Earth daily, and the Curiosity rover exploring Mars. We've even sent a long-distance messenger, the Voyager 1, who has traveled outside of our solar system.
Whether it's capturing a great picture of a far-off galaxy or conducting experiments on the space station, radio has to do with all of these. And today, you're going to be using ham radio. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is ham radio?
Amateur or ham radio is a service and a hobby where operators can talk with people around their neighborhoods, their cities, their country, and even around the world. Amateur radio operators require a radio license from the government. They're not that hard to get. I have one. My call sign is KM4LAO.
And mine is KD8YVJ. Our call signs are a way of identifying who we are to other operators. This lets everyone know that we have the proper license to using the radios.
As amateur radio operators, or hams as we are often called, we can talk with others about basically whatever we want, often science or some new radio gadget that we are interested in.
Let's focus back to the space station and your contact today. Many of the astronauts and cosmonauts aboard the space station are licensed ham radio operators. That's why your operators today can contact them. The people here, as well as the astronauts, are licensed to talk to each other, and you are allowed to talk over to their radio.
For our conversation today, we'll need an amateur radio station on the ground, either in this location or somewhere else around the world. We'll also need a radio in the space station.
NA1SS, NA1SS.
You can hear the calls come. This is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, the International Space Station, over.
On the space station, the radio transceiver is connected to an amateur radio antenna mounted on the outside. One of these antennas will be used today during our contact.
For our side of the contact, we need a good-sized antenna, a signal amplifier, something to make our signal stronger, and a rotator for turning our antenna. We have to keep our antenna pointed right at the International Space Station. And remember, it's moving across the sky and fast.
To aim the antenna properly, we need to track the path of the space station exactly. NASA uses complex systems to track the path of the space station and other orbiting objects.
The satellite tracking program we are using works out a complicated set of mathematics to provide the orbital location of the space station moment by moment as it moves through space. This information is sent to the computer that controls the antenna rotator, which moves the antenna to follow the space station. Maybe some of you have seen or worked with robotics. That's pretty cool stuff. And just like you can program a robot where to go, what to do, and how to get there, you can also program a computer to tell an antenna how to track the space station across the sky.
You know, it took a lot of planning to get this contact. Several weeks ago, the ISS operations team had to figure out when the space station's orbit would pass over this location. Then, they had to talk with the planners at NASA's Johnson Space Center. The crew's time is pretty full, so they were able to find a time that could work for the crew members' schedules. Once they found times that would work both in space and here on the ground, the host organized this contact. And in just a few minutes, you'll be hearing and talking to the astronauts.
Well, it's almost time for your contact. It will be exciting, so good luck with it.
Go for it.
NA1SS, this is W2NPT. NA1SS, this is W2NPT. NA1SS, this is W2NPT.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Mabel. What is your favorite view in space? Over.
Okay, I cannot hear you. Can you repeat the question again?
NPT, are you ready for questions? Over.
Yes, I'm ready for the question. Thank you. Loud and clear.
There you go.
Hello, my name is Mabel. What is your favorite view in space? Over.
Thank you for the great question. I love stargazing, so I love view with stars, and also aurora is very beautiful seeing from space. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Christine. What's the weirdest or most unexpected thing that's happened to you in microgravity? Over.
Thank you for the great question. It's kind of dirty, but when I was in toilet, when I did business, number 2, my poop was floating inside, in front of me. That was unexpected. Over.
Hi, my name is Adam. If you could only bring one non-essential item to the International Space Station, what would you choose and why? Over.
That's also a great question. I love playing video games, but I don't have any. So I'd like to bring, if I'm able to, bring video games here. Over.
Hello, my name is Jalen. How does it feel orbiting above us all? Are you doing well up there? Over.
Great question. Since people on the ground helps us a lot, and people actually encouraging us to doing good job here, so we are pretty comfortable living here and doing well. Thank you. Over.
Hi, my name is Lorianne. What is the most surprising thing that you've experienced in space that you didn't expect during training? Over.
Yes, I was actually very surprised during the EVA training. It's very tiring. It was very unexpected, but on the orbit, everything is comfortable. That is also very, unexpected and actually good experience. Thank you. Over.
Hi, my name is Zion. How has your perspective on Earth and humanity changed since living aboard the ISS? Over.
So, sorry, what is the question again? Sorry?
Hi, my name is Zion. How has your perspective on Earth and humanity changed since living aboard the ISS? Over.
Okay, great question. Thank you again. And actually, I realized that Earth is very small, and I just realized that Earth is fragile, so we need to protect it by human. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mateo. What do you do in the space to entertain yourself? Over.
Thank you for your great question. During the spare time, I'm taking a lot of pictures. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Adonis. Can you describe the first moment you saw Earth from space? How did it make you feel? Over.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. When I saw Earth, it was so beautiful, and I was so surprised to see thin atmosphere, and I realized that Earth is beautiful but fragile, and we need to protect. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Justin. How do you prepare for a mission both physically and mentally? Over.
That's also a great question. We have a lot of training on ground. For example, EVAs, robotics trainings. Everything is difficult, but in order to overcome this training, we are prepared for mentally and physically for the space flight. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Darielle. What does Earth look like from up there, and how does it make you feel when you see it? Over.
That's a great question. As I mentioned, Earth is so beautiful. So even if I would get tired work, if I see Earth from the space station, I can get power and I can work again very well. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Roz. How did you feel on your first trip in space? Over.
Thank you for the great question. Life in space is so comfortable. So I'm pretty, grateful and also happy to live here. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Siona. What has been the most rewarding or challenging experience you've had during your space travel? Over.
That's a great question as well. The rewarding thing is we can see so beautiful stars and also aurora, Earth. Everything is so beautiful, and people really helps us. So the life in space is pretty comfortable and priceless. Challenging thing is just away from the family members. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Mabel. What was the most challenging part of your astronaut training? Over.
Yes, it's actually astronaut training is pretty hard, especially spacewalk training is pretty hard, but everybody helps us, so we are able to overcome that kind of difficulties. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Christine. Does time feel different when you are orbiting Earth every 90 minutes? Over.
Oh, that's also a very good question. We are using universal coordinated time, time coordinated, that is winter time in London. So we have still day and night based on the time in London. But Earth, when we see sun during the night, it's very hard for us to go to bed again because our body thinks that is daylight. Thank you. Over.
If you could bring a smell from Earth to the space station to make it feel more like home, what smell would you choose and why? Over.
That's also a great question. I'm born and grown in very country area, so I'd like to have like a smell like flowers or woods that makes my hometown, remind me of hometown. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Jalen. Do you catch yourself doing something human, like humming or daydreaming, and realize I'm in space? Over.
That's also a great question. Yeah, during the night when I'm sleeping, I often actually dreaming. And actually, interestingly, half of the dreaming is with gravity and half of them are zero gravity. So I think body is still remembering on the ground gravity. Thank you. Over.
Hi, my name is Lorianne. How has seeing Earth from space changed your perspective on life or humanity? Over.
That's also a great question. I realize that Earth is very, very small, and we have a lot of people on the ground. If we have to protect our Earth because that's very fragile. But if we work together with our knowledge and the ability to cooperate with each other, we can do this, and we have bright future. Over.
Hi, my name is Zion. What is the biggest unknown risk in human spaceflight that keeps you or your team thinking? Over.
Okay, I was a little bit hard to hear the question. Could you please repeat that question again?
Hi, my name is Zion. What is the biggest unknown risk in human spaceflight that keeps you or your team thinking? Over.
That's a great question. Actually, we have a long history of human spaceflight, so every risk is already known. And we have mitigation to remove these risks. So I think space flight is pretty safe. If you have a chance to travel to space, please try. Thank you. Over.
Hi, my name is Mateo. Do you have a signal in space to play video games? Over.
That's also a very good question. We have internet, but we don't have any video games. So I wish we had video games. Since I really love video games. Thank you. Over.
Hello, my name is Adonis. What's one experiment or discovery you worked on in space that you think could change life on Earth? Over.
That's also a great question. In Kibo module, Japanese experiment module, we have a lot of experiments conducting in order to make the new medicine. We can make very pure protein crystals on orbit. So this kind of experiments will change our life on Earth. Thank you. Over.
Hi, my name is Justin. What is something you miss that's on Earth that you can't have in space? Over.
That's a great question. Unfortunately, right now we don't have any fresh Japanese food, just like sushi. I love sushi, so I really miss sushi. Thank you. Over.
Okay, we're going to say thank you on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Well done, guys. And gals. Almost all of them.
Wow.
Almost all of them.
Yeah. Almost all of them the second time.
That was great.
That was great.
Still live? To the very end.
We still live? All right, so in closing, how'd you all feel? You feel good now? You a little nervous before? High schoolers, come on here. It's okay. All right, awesome job, everyone. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. This is an incredible experience to hear directly from an astronaut. And I love the way that you all shine. All right, our students always shine. This is a great way to exemplify what great work we have going on in this district. And again, one more time for everybody, our radio team, our students, parents that came out with all of that support. That's what happens when everybody comes together and make things work. I want to say again, Fairlawn Amateur Radio Club, because this is their equipment, and without their equipment, we can't yell that loud to get the space. Maybe some of us are. Thank you very much. At home, I know they're not here. We have our education mentor and our technical mentor, Fred Kemmerer, and Kathy Lamont, who are not here, but they were part of the preparation to get us to this point and make sure that we were on track and making sure Steve did his job. Not me, though, but making sure he did his work. But yeah, I really think watching you all do this inspires me, and hopefully it inspires other people watching throughout the district, throughout our community, and for however long this link lasts. But thank you all again for coming out, really supporting our students and the great work that we're doing here in Paterson. Thank you again. Thank you.
Hold on. I'd just like to thank Dr. Miranda and the school system for inviting us. It was our pleasure, and thanks to all you great students for your super questions.
All right, now you gotta get out of here. Now you gotta now get to work. Oh, actually, wait, students, adults, you can, unless you want to stay, we're just gonna handing out participation certificates for each of the students. So you are getting a certificate and a goodie bag of free things.